victimhood? What a stupid bullshit test. Your perceived level of victimhood. It's just gaslighting people. That's so dumb, dude. I hate psychology. Personality compass? Political philosophy, philosophy, economics. Which one should I take first?
Lay down your weapons. It is not too late for my mercy. Come and look upon the heart. Upon the heart.
I love this song, dude.
I'm a god. How can you kill a god?
Just the regular philosophy one? Alright. It's the longest one, so thanks for that. Begin test. I didn't even read the intro. I'd rather find true love than be wealthy. Indeed. I would rather be given an expensive car than save the life of a starving child. No, I can't even drive. That has no use to me at all. I'm thinking like a utilitarian. What is happening? I would rather receive money than gifts. Sometimes, yeah. I would rather be in a sexual relationship without intimacy than be in an intimate relationship without sex. Wait a second. I'm gonna turn down the music slightly so I can think better. What do they mean by relationship? Like, you're dating them? Or like, you're just like, friend, like, that's the part that's kind of not specified. Should I assume that? Because it's kind of like, that kind of might change the answer. What if you sell the car to feed the child? Yeah, obviously you could do both, but that's like not how these questions work. You can't just be like, oh, I outsmarted the question, now I'm gonna press neutral, and then you just get 50% everything. Like, I think I would rather be right now, I would, wait, do I even have a preference to this? I'm just gonna say neutral. Cause like, that's not, I can't imagine only having one, like, if I'm actually in a relationship with the person, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. There's no inherent meaning to life. Yeah. A world without color is far darker than a world without order. That's so based. Society will always need a strong authority. No. I believe in some form of spiritual afterlife. Neutral. If I had to choose, I would save myself instead of a loved one. Most of them, honestly, agree. So are yous in the chat. So are you. The ends usually justify the means. I don't know about usually. Nah. Disagree. I would rather live a life of personal pleasure than settle down and have children. Yeah, right now, yeah. At this moment, yes. Life is suffering and fundamentally meaningless. No, I'm not a pessimist. Because if it's suffering, that's meaning. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? You're already ascribing meaning to existence if you say that it is equivalent to suffering itself. So you can't just then say it's meaningless. Makes no sense. When making a decision, the underlying reasoning is always more important than the consequences. No. What? In whose perspective? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. I mean, not all the time. Required by who? There's more to the world than mere material. What if I just said that all the things that you think are more than material are just material, but they do exist? I'm gonna press neutral, because that's my opinion. Most people are inherently selfish. No, I don't think people are inherently anything. We should strive towards a utopian society. In the way that they probably mean utopian, yes. Sometimes we must suffer in the present so that we can have a better future. Yeah. In some ways, sometimes, some arrangements. No actions are inherently moral or immoral. Agree. Strongly agree. Strongly agree. Strongly agree. Reason is more important than emotion. No. But it is privileged over it in our society today. It is foolish to believe a claim if there's no evidence to back it up. Whose evidence, though? And that's not how belief works. That's not how belief works in the original case. My mental well-being is more important to me than material possessions. True, for the most part. Selflessness is a virtue. It can be virtuous, I suppose. But neutral. I'm gonna go neutral. Our society is fundamentally flawed and in need of radical reform. I mean, in my opinion, yeah. I prefer, but I'm aware that that's a subjective judgment. I prefer friendships that help me grow as a person, as opposed to ones that are exciting. Neutral. I'm just gonna reject the question. There's an underlying morality in everything that we know. Without music, life would be a mistake. Yeah. There exists an omniscient, omnipotent, and absolute being. No. Consciousness is immaterial. No. What? My own prosperity matters more to me than the happiness of those around me. In some ways, people who desire constant success must change their conduct with the times. What do you mean? The times encourage that. That's such a dumb question. It is virtuous to live a simple life without an abundance of physical comforts. I mean, not inherently it isn't. I'm like... Reject the question. We are all insignificant in the eyes of the universe. Oh my god, this cosmic pessimism cope of oh. But you're already giving the universe eyes when you say that. I get what they're saying when they say this. They're just trying to give expression to the fact that things happen environmentally and the world doesn't care about you, you know? But still, I just don't... I see this as a philosophical dead end, so I'm gonna press disagree in the final sense. A society without marriage would be better than a society without divorce. Probably. Our society defines us. No. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. Spirit and matter are two separate entities. No, they're not. Doesn't make any sense to think that they are. I will usually put my family, my community, or my people above my own personal goals. No, actually I won't, honestly. Revolution is sometimes a benefit to society. Yes. People have the right to try to achieve as much pleasure as possible. No, this is just liberal idealism. Life is despair. No. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Sure. In a sense. Human beings possess free will. Reject the question. It is good to strive towards fame, wealth, and power. No, it's not inherently good at all. I would rather live alone in luxury than in poverty with friends and family. Yes, at this point, yes. Tell you the truth, I would rather. Societal progression should be carried out slowly and in small incremental steps. No. There's so much liberal cope in this philosophy quiz. Pleasure is the highest good. No. I don't care about morality, true. It is foolish to let emotions influence your decisions. They inevitably will. It's actually foolish to block it, because you actually can't block it. You're just tricking yourself, you're coping. Nothing can be proven to be true. I mean, it can be proven true under its own rules, so technically no. That's actually wrong. What do they mean by emotion? Why are you equating emotion and desire? A life of fame and fortune is more desirable to me than a happy and meaningful life. No, in the final sense, it's not. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. I mean, yeah, that creates less assholes if people think that way. Where do emotions come from? The world of ideas is superior to the physical world. No. Jordan Peterson asks. It is better to live a frugal life. In some ways, there's obviously benefits of that. Moral statements are statements of truth or fact more than they are statements of emotion or desire. Wrong. Scientific research is more important than art and music. No. I would rather live... I would rather live in a wealthy society with little to no morals than live in a poor society with morals and identity. I don't know. We should focus on the well-being of our community. Yes. Our ideas stem from reality. Yes. Our primary pursuit should be our own passions and pleasures. Primary? I mean, kind of. In an ideal world. In communism, yeah. There's a distinction between good and bad that goes beyond mere human nature. No. Wait. What do you mean by goes beyond mere human nature? What? What? What kind of question is this? What? Reject the question. That's so stupid. What a stupid thing to say. The primary goal of humanity is the pursuit of knowledge. That's definitely not the case if you look at it. Human beings possess a soul. No. I don't think so. Individuals should always act in their own self-interest. Definitely not. And if you think you are, how do you truly know what your actual ultimate self-interests are in the final sense? How do you actually know that? How do you know that what you're pursuing is actually best for you and something else wouldn't be? How do you actually know that for sure? You don't. Each person has a function in society. No, I don't think people have pre-prescribed functions for society. I think society should function for people. There's a way to live that is morally ideal. No, but if you're trying to live morally, you are being too idealist. It is not wise to be affected by strong passions and fears. What do you mean by wisdom then? The universe obeys natural and fundamental laws. No. That's a scientist go. Everything is scientifically provable. People cannot be truly altruistic. I don't even know what you mean. Lofty ideals such as justice and liberty are of great importance to me. A little bit. Authority must always be ridiculed. Yeah. Without faith in a God, we cannot be content. No. Emotions cannot be discounted when making decisions. True. We can never perceive true reality. I mean, disagree, kind of? We should help those who are struggling in our society. Yes. Okay. I'm Nietzschean and humanist. That doesn't make any sense. How am I humanist and Nietzschean? I'm a Nietzschean humanist. Okay, so I got my highest score is I got 84 in romanticism over rationalism, which is weird. That's kind of weird. I don't know what they mean by that. What do my results mean? Values axis. Oh, right. That means I subjectively privilege passions and the heart over intellect and logic to a great degree, according to this quiz. And then I got 68% nihilism over moralism. Which means neither meaning nor morality are objective. Based. Then I'm a skeptic on the epistemological axis. We can never truly know anything for sure. Yeah, because that goes along with the nihilism because there's no objectivity to truths. And that's where the Nietzscheanism comes from too. It's very Derrida, kind of. I am a postmodernist, I guess, ultimately. I got more altruism over egoism, 62. And for some reason it says idealism here, when that's not what they mean. What they mean by this is deontology versus consequentialism. That's what they mean by that. Which ultimately I am more deontological than utilitarian. Like, yeah, and I'm more collectivist than individualist. And I'm trending towards materialism. Yeah, I'm trying to fix the test by explaining it a little bit, yeah. What about hedonism versus asceticism? I'm like kind of down the middle on that. Yeah, I just kind of don't care. I think there's a way of being deontological that actually is like more, it's more open to like opposition to current forms of justice than being consequentialist. Like, every lawyer is consequentialist. You know what I mean? Like, all those types of people. Like, Vosh is a fucking consequentialist. He's not a lawyer, but you get what I'm saying, I hope. It doesn't matter your intentions, it just matters what happened. That's a cope at the end of the day. Vosh is too sucked into mainstream psychology. That's one of my main critiques of him at this point. And he just does the armchair psychology thing to people. Alright, let's take a screenshot of these. Nietzschean and humanist. That makes so much sense. Okay. Political philosophy. Hierarchies will inevitably be formed in every society. No. We are living in a postmodern age with no discernible true reality. Yeah? A truly democratic system is unrealistic. Yeah, kinda. The penal system is designed to protect the interests of the ruling class. True. We must retain the core constitutional principles of our institutions. No, they're bad. The traditions of law and justice in my community must be greatly respected. No, I don't care about that. We should not question sovereign authority so long as it provides peace. It doesn't. It provides war. A society that promotes equal outcomes for all is desirable. Yeah? It is desirable indeed. The traditional family is, unfortunately, the embodiment of an authoritarian personality and ultimately fascism. I disagree with the authoritarian personality part, unless you mean like just people, then I wholeheartedly agree with you. There is no grand tradition of anything, only various competing claims. Yeah. We have no transcendent purpose beyond our own material pleasure. No. Wait, well, that's such a loaded question. No transcendent purpose beyond our own material pleasure? Transcendent purpose, material, and pleasure. You have all of this shit in here. I'm just gonna say disagree, because that was my original reaction. Collective obligations that are placed on any individual by society are inherently immoral. I wouldn't say that they're inherently immoral, actually. Because I don't put it in terms of morality, of good or bad. But that is inherently power operating. You can't get around that. It's not up to the system itself whether you think it's good or not. Corruption and decay is an iron law of human societies. No. Humanity only experiences linear growth, not decay. No, that's not true. Societies develop through a cooperative social contract. Fuck no. Fuck Locke and all that shit. The concepts of good and evil are subjective. Yes. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have largely been negative. I mean, true. Ted Gang. Monkey. People should be treated equally regardless of their social group. Yeah. Generally, yes. The social group should be blurred out. Technological development has brought about a better world. Disagree. To ground any coherent worldview, one needs higher spiritual values. No. Religion is merely a distraction from the material world. Sure. Well, disagree actually. It's not. These questions are so shitty. Language developed as a tool to dominate and exclude the other. In a lot of ways it did, indeed. Human society should be viewed through a pessimistic lens. Yeah. In some ways. You shouldn't view society as it is as good, in my opinion. Societies of vulnerability will always defeat societies of exclusion. Show me a society of vulnerability. Where does that exist? I don't know how to answer this question. Agree? A liberal democracy is the final stage in societal development. No. Fukuyama type shit. There is no more, or there is more to this world than purely physical. Yeah, I'm not a physicalist. All people possess a soul. No. History can be understood as a great march of progress. It can be, but you're kind of coping. Human nature is nasty, brutish, and short, and must be repressed by society. I hate this Freudian bullshit. Strongly disagree. We are defined morally, at least in part, by our actions. I don't think you can actually be defined morally. You can just be perceived morally. If a society is not grounded by ancestral traditions, it will fall into chaos. That chaos is based, though. We should strive to eliminate social biases toward minority groups. Yeah. Humanity can be relied on to self-regulate and self-reform. No. We are currently in the dark age of human flourishing. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter D. Soy you. A collective founded on absolute values will always outlive those founded on relative values. No, history shows that's not the case. Without a constraining force, society, you seem very horny. Society will always tend towards immorality. No, I don't view it as a morality. That's your problem. That's your view. It is better to die standing than to live on one's knees. Indeed. All institutions are biased towards their own cultural background. Yes. No institution can be truly egalitarian. Yes. Without God and higher ideals, institutions will collapse. No. It's pretty clear that they won't. It's pretty clear it takes more than that to collapse an institution. Some people will always be more successful than others. At what? What do you mean by success? Stupid question. Our modern world is progressing towards a utopia. No, it's not. I don't think so. There's no guarantee of that. We're not teleological Marxists here. Man's natural state is egalitarian and pacifistic. I wouldn't say so. We can best pursue meaning by living disciplined and virtuous lives. Yeah, meanings that other people give you. different combinations that are imposed on you, different combinations of social identities produce unique forms of disadvantage and oppression. Indeed, intersection. Science and rationality are best when it comes to describing our world. Some aspects of our world, but rationality, you can't worship these things. You can't worship these things. There's more to life than the pursuit of pleasure. Indeed, there is. Liberation of the individual from all arbitrary boundaries is ideal. True. Social relations should be understood primarily as expressions of tyrannical power. Sometimes. Foucault pilled. Societies tend towards immorality, and as such, they require a strong leader to maintain order. No. That's such a cope. That's such a cope of the tyrant. I have to control it or else it will tend towards immorality. But that's your own... That's only immoral to you at the end of the day. It's your own control system. That's how control systems work. Society will always consist of rulers and subjects. Cringe. The ideas of progress and rationality are symptoms of societal decline. What? I mean, in some sense you could argue that. Every civilization goes through a birth, a rise, and a fall. Ultimately, if you actually want to segment the civilizations out discreetly and say this is this one and this is this one, then yeah, that will inevitably be what you see when you look at it. The most successful people are those who are the most deserving of their success. That is such bullshit. Individuals have a duty towards upholding the collective good. No. Societal hierarchies often come about through the oppression of disadvantaged groups. They don't... I mean... Yeah. That's actually a pretty base way of putting it. Direct or pure democracy is the ideal form of government. If you're gonna have a government, an action is generally good if its consequences are good. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. I'm gonna put disagree for this one. I changed my mind. An action is generally good if its consequences are good. But it's only good to you. What do you mean by good? Peaceful societies are rare and fragile. That's true. But why is that true is the question. Through sexual exploration and liberation, we can escape the societies of control. Based filled. Which of the following political labels best describes you? Far left. Age, 18-24. Gender, female. Ethnicity, white. Just show me my results. Anarchist, critical theorist, intersectionalist. Overall, more left than right. In the middle of this shit. These dichotomies are so weird. Entropic, deconstructive, equality, liberation. What do my results mean? Yeah, I reject this debate, so I'm in the middle. The debate between a physical or a divine reality. Like, apparently I think that society tends to degenerate and corrupt. I just think that that's good. Deconstructive, socially constructed institutions and traditions cannot be trusted. Based. Structural axis. Society should be structured in an egalitarian manner. How I view man's nature and the role in society. Individuals should be free from societal control. Based. This is actual postmodernism, folks. It's based. It's good. I'm so based. I'm literally so based. I'm gonna throw all these into the Discord. Base Mythic Dawn.
Welcome, moon and star, come to me through fire and war. Oh, oh, come Nerevar, come and look upon my heart, look upon my heart. Oh, lay down your weapons, it is not too late for my mercy. Oh, oh, come and look upon my